Welcome to being Sharon Gibson's podcast, BSG.
Happy New Year, BSG Fighters. Welcome to being Sharon Gibson's podcast. This is season 5, episode 1, featuring a recurring guest, Chris Koka. As intended, I'm going to transform your mind into a strong, positive mind. Before I dive into today's topic, I would like you all to know that my TikTok community is absolutely different from my podcast community. So check out the videos on my TikTok platform. Welcome, Chris Koka.
Hi, Sharon. Welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Many happy returns. How have you been?
I've been good by God's grace. Just, start off a fresh year and just thinking out loud what's up for 2024. And yeah, happy to be on your podcast once again. Thank you
Oh,
for having.
it's always good to have you, and I'm so glad that you've been with me for 3 seasons now. You've been in 3 seasons now, and like it's really nice to have you back on because like every time we have a conversation, there's something that provokes my thoughts that I want to talk about again. So it's more like a series with you. I just hope that this conversation will just be this conversation so that you don't have to appear next season.
I will appear again, I'm sure.
So I mean, I know you as a podcaster, amidst every so many other things. So can you tell us more about yourself for any new listener?
Well, 3 seasons, 3 episodes with you. Do people need introduction? Hi, my name is Richmond Chris Koka. Sometimes I'm a podcaster, sometimes I'm a product manager, sometimes I'm a writer, sometimes I am me. Yeah, happy to be here on the Bean Sharon Gibson podcast.
Thank you. Okay, so there's gonna be a little twist. Before I say today's topic, for discussion, I will be sharing one or two top rules from highly successful people.
Mhm.
Um, at the end, or I think at the beginning. Today's person is Robert Kiyosaki, and all credits goes to Evans Carmichael. I got it from his YouTube channel. These are top secrets for success. So the person that I'm choosing today is Robert Kiyosaki, and he's an entrepreneur and author of, the famous book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And the top rule that I'm going to share today is make money with your phone. He said, if you cannot make money with your phone, there's something wrong with your brain and not your phone. So, yeah, let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is the essence of routine. So, without further ado, from our last episode together, we actually disagreed on having routines. And I was against, having routines, and you were for the motion that you should have routines. So, so you're making me laugh. I need to be serious here. what does what does routine mean to you, and how does it shape your life?
Oh, Sharon. All right. She said from the last episode I was for the motion. What is a routine?
Yeah, what does
Hmm.
it mean to you? Like, what does having a routine mean to you? Or how does it even shape in your life? Like having a routine, doing something you know what a routine is.
I think the dictionary definition of a routine is a sequence of actions regularly followed, right?
Yeah,
So it's that's you're doing the same thing over and over again. So
yeah,
for me, like that's a routine, and a routine is more like a system you have put in place to help you do things, right? Or if you talk about it from my personal perspective, a routine is what I have put in place, or is the system I've put in place to help me like do things in my life, right? So let's say I have a morning routine. So the morning routine is, so you wake up, you have your personal quiet time, then you exercise for a few minutes, then you read. And also that routine is like a system I've put in place to help me move from one step to the next step. So I'll say That's the definition of a routine. Something that's is there. I mean, from the dictionary definition, is something that is there that you follow constantly or frequently. And what
Mm.
does it mean to me and how it shapes my life? So for me, I mean, I've come to realize a routine is more of a system I am putting in place to help me move from point A to point B, and that's how it's shaping my life.
Is it more of like doing the same particular set of activities every single day, same time? Is that how you see it? Because that's how I see it.
So I think it depends on where you're looking at a routine from. So it's
Mm-hmm.
more of what are you doing? For me, I 2023 was not a year of like same time, but it was more of same thing every day, right?
Mm.
It's 2024. I'm looking at same thing, same time. I want to improve the routine. Like you don't just start, but like it's same thing over and over again. That was 2023. But now it's like same thing, same time. That's what I want to learn for 2024. So I would say yeah, it is same thing every day. Trying to
Mm.
do it's not I'll have to do it every day, but like trying to do it every single day.
It doesn't get boring for you.
What is boring to you, Sharon? What is your definition of boring?
Boring is like doing the same exact set of activities every single time.
Is
Like
nature boring?
nature,
Yeah.
it gets boring if they're I don't know. I don't know how to put it.
No, is
No, wait
nature
a minute.
boring?
No, when you mean nature, you mean like trees and how do you call it? Like
So
I don't know. What do you mean by nature?
nature has been on a routine since the inception of time.
That's nature.
Seasons,
I'm
left,
different from nature.
right, and like ne- every single person has been on routine since.
Yeah, but I think the perspective I'm coming from is see why am I still arguing with you about I'm not it's not I don't even want to even argue about routines because I actually agree with you now. So it's just like I think I'm just trying to like how do you call it?
Come
Let
to
everything in my head and get
yeah,
come to get to like a mutual understanding with you on the essence of routine
yeah,
because I think I'm speaking from a spontaneous point of view because I'm a very spontaneous person
yeah.
and doing the same thing like sets of activities over and over again for a period of time gets boring for me. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
like I feel like it doesn't work for me. Like I'm the type of person if I mean I love to work out, I love to play basketball, but if I'm supposed to do it every single day because I have to do it, it gets boring for me. But if I do it out of will, then it's more interesting for me. So what I think you're right. We all do have routines because I also have routines but I spice it up. So it's like, let's say this week I'm playing basketball on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Next week I could play on Tuesdays, uh, you know, Saturday and Sunday, or I could just like spice it up by not playing basketball by just going for a run, or I could spice it up by just working out in my apartment. So that's how I see it. It might be surrounding the same set of activity, but might not necessarily be the same activity, same time, and everything for me. I feel like that's my view on routines. Because most people say that, you need to have a routine of some sort to be successful in life. But do you in any way spice up your routine?
Yeah, so I would say I get you from the point of routines. That's the truth. It really does become boring at a point because like you feel like you're becoming more like a robot. So that's where you
Exactly.
have to be intentional about it. For me, when I was thinking about this topic, I'm like, what am I going to say? And you know what came to mind? Like, oh boy, the Lord was talking to me. So my son, go. Like just I mean, nature came to mind one more time. Is the sun comes up. I mean, depends on which part of the world you are. There are seasons, right?
Yeah.
So if you let's say you're in winter, every single day is snowing. Then when you
Yeah.
move away from winter and you're in summer, every single day the sun is out. So it's more like how do you put your life into, or having your routines are seasonal, right? So what I see even from your routine is today you play basketball, tomorrow you're playing, you're going for running, or you are doing indoor workout. It's still on an activity called exercising, but you're just changing it, right? So you still have a routine, but you're just
But
changing
sometimes
it.
I can go like 3 weeks without working out.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes you're in the rainy season and it doesn't rain for 2 weeks. That's how everything is.
Why do you have a comeback?
That's how everything is, right? That's how it
Yeah.
is. Sometimes you're in winter, but it's not snowing for 2, 3 days. But it doesn't mean you're not in winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
Okay.
for
So
me,
so
mhm,
I think we can establish the fact that routines guarantee success.
I'm not
Having
going
a
to
routine.
say routines guarantee success, but routine is like a first. Um, it's like the stepping stone for
Yeah.
what you want to be. So let me just
Yeah.
I like bringing my Catholic part into talking. So I look at the Catholic Church, right? For me, I try to learn how, like, if anything has made the Catholic Church being able to like stand for like all these 2000 plus years is routine. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Like, if you look at anything that is long standing, it is routine over and over and over again. Like, I mean, if I was listening to Kobe Bryant, like the late Kobe Bryant, he was talking about how he was waking up at 4 a.m. every single day so that he can train over and over and over again. So it's like the same thing over and over again. And trust me, anybody I've known that has built something had to come up with a routine. One of my friends was like, he was
Yeah.
senior like me, and I asked him like, what was the difference? He's like, bro, like the same thing over and over again, like just
Yeah.
showing up to the gym. If you want to build something long standing, it's over and over again. If you
That's
water,
true.
if you plant like a seed, right, and you want it to grow,
Yeah.
you water it what every single day. Just tell me, oh, you don't need to water it to grow by itself. Ha!
No,
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
that's
That's
the
the
routine.
intentionality of life. You have to be intentional. Life doesn't just happen to you. You have to make it happen.
Exactly.
Like you have to be intentional about life.
When do you push the podcast again, Sharon?
January. Hey, is it January?
Have you-
January. Please, I don't know how to pronounce January.
Every
Please, why do you
Tuesday,
ask me
right?
this question?
You said every Tuesday. You
Yeah,
post it
every Tuesday. You know, I
every what?
said everything.
Every what?
Every Tuesday. Every
Why don't you
Tuesday.
post it on Tuesday and the next week you post it on Saturday and the next week you post it on Monday, next week you post it on whenever you feel? Why?
Because I think I understand how the world works, and
Doesn't it become boring?
no, it doesn't become.
Why
It
do you
doesn't.
spice
It's
it
not
up?
boring for the world, but maybe it's boring for me.
Yeah, just
I
kidding.
mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, that's true. That's an established point. Sometimes the brain cannot comprehend certain logic, and I think sometimes my brain cannot comprehend certain logics. Yeah. So I mean, do you feel guilty whenever you go off like a routine? Like for example, me when I work out and then for like 2 or 3 weeks, I don't work out. That's I actually have like a tangible reason why I don't work out. So do you ever feel guilty? Because I do feel guilty.
Hmm. I think it's you holding yourself to a very high level. I think that's why you feel guilty. For me, I've come to
Yeah.
that I am human. Perfection does,
Yeah.
but excellence does exist. So I strive for excellence in my routine. I don't strive for perfection, or else perfection will make me have all this kind of guilt. So
That's very deep.
yeah, so I don't really, I'm like, I do my best. So the whole thing is, do I do my best every single day? And how do I keep improving? There's nothing like perfection. So
Mm.
I don't aim for that. And because I don't aim for perfection, I don't feel guilty. I just, it's like,
Mm.
okay, I didn't hit it today. What do I do to improve tomorrow? Then I keep moving.
Oh, I think I'm gonna write that down and then staple it on my wall. Like it's like oh that's I think we need to take a moment to just like absorb every word that
Oh my God.
that's it. Like don't strive for perfection, strive for excellence, and that's really good because I am like on the other edge. I'm not a perfectionist, but sometimes it's like I am a perfectionist. It's like I get myself confused. It's like you want to get everything right when like for example, we all know that an 80 to 100 in most schools is an A, but like you'd be so pissed when you miss two or three questions, but you're still gonna get an A, but you just wanted to get like a 90 or 100 or something, and you're still mad at yourself, and you beat yourself up even though you're still going to like do so well and get an A. So this really sunk in for me. So, I mean, as a spontaneous person, I said that earlier. I don't know if you are spontaneous because I feel like most people with routines and who are like very religious about their routines aren't spontaneous. So, to any spontaneous person listening to it, do you think that having a routine takes away that spontaneity from you? Like the fun part, the adventure of who you are as a person?
I think so. The danger about routine, I think I was reading from James Clear, is you can fall into the trap of not doing things and being present.
Yeah,
Adventure makes you more present. Routine can make you just feel more of like autopilot. So once you
exactly.
shake your routines by bringing more spontaneity inside. I mean, so for me, it's more of you have to find that balance, right? Because you can't also live life like life is always spontaneous, right? You have to
Mm.
you have to find that balance, and you have to be very intentional about it. Like you have to, like, if it is eating every day, you have to be like sit. I think someone was saying you have to sometimes sit, take time and chew and feel it, right? We are always rushing, we even forget to taste our food, right? So it's more of being very intentional. I think
Yeah.
it's more of how do I become present in what
Yeah, to become present.
being more present. I think it what makes you very, very like makes that fun part of it, because even if you are spontaneous and you are not present, you can have an adventure and you not really enjoy it, right?
That's true.
It's still more of finding that balance. I mean, clearly, like I say, if you look at the whole nature is like our greatest classroom, right? So if you look at nature again, some days even these people like who predict that it's going to rain and it doesn't rain. It shows
I
up
know.
and it shows up like, yeah, that's how it should be. Even though like you're in that season where you should be focused, sometimes surprise people, be or surprise yourself.
Exactly.
So I think I read from James Clear, like sometimes maybe you always take this route to work from like a Mall to
Yeah.
next time say no, you want to pass through another side so that you see something new. And all, it's about being intentional about all these small
Yeah.
that make it very spontaneous.
That's a nice one because I had somebody in my life, who I used to be close to, and it's like the person's whole identity was like based on his routine. If there was any other thing he had to do which was not part of like his routine, it distorts him, so like it became his identity. Everything he did, like because of that, even when I cut off from him, I knew where he was at that time. Like that's how bad it was. Like literally I can harm you. That's one of the reasons why I'm not big on routines.
Hmm.
And I always say, like, as the guy, like as you said earlier, that as you just said, that like if you take this route to work, try and take another route to work, which is so true. Because like me, the way I live my life, see if you want to attack me to be hard. Because I don't go to the same place at the same time. I don't do the same things at the same time. I don't you get to like I'm always changing. I might do like the same set of things, like things that, bring me fulfillment and things that give me joy and stuff. But I don't follow like a set of, you know, of time that like I don't follow a timing to these things that I do. So it's very difficult for me to be a target. That's one of the reasons why I don't like praise routines that much, because if you do that, it's easy for you to be a target for anybody who wants to, like, attack you. Because, like, let's say, for example, I know what time you do this at this time, and for you, you're very adamant about changing that. And for you to even change that, it's really hard for you to do that. So I can remember Satago, I just pulled up on him, and I knew he was going to be where he was to get it. So yeah, that's my own flaw when it comes to having routines. And I really do agree with the fact that, like, we should find a way to, like, make it spicy. Don't be the same, don't make it your identity too as well. Do you understand? Like, be different, like, be confuse people, as you said. Like, sometimes confuse people, be so focused, don't be focused, be lazy, be hardworking, confuse people. I love to do that a lot.
I think it
uh,
depends on the area of your life where this routine impacts. Like for me, let's see, going to church and sitting at
mhm.
the place, I realized, nah, I can't be doing it. So like this week, maybe you go for, I go for like mass at 9. The next week I go for the evening one. The next week I go for, I go for this.
Exactly,
So the routine is still to go to church, but now
exactly,
how I'll go or where I'll go, that's
exactly.
way like you bring that spice and everything inside. So yeah,
Yeah,
really makes sense, because also for me, for security reasons as well, as okay, I have to find a way such that if I show up, even I can show up at the same church, but every day I'm switching places.
exactly.
But I realize
Don't
everybody's at the same place they sit all the time.
all the time. That's what you're saying right now is really good. You raised this point, because the same thing happens. I mean, in school, too, it's like everybody is sitting where they usually sit, and sometimes I distort the whole class, because I'll go and sit somewhere somebody is always sitting, and I'm like, what's this whole childish thing that you guys are doing? Whose place? Who did your father and mother make the table and chair for you when you came to school? So because it's easy for you to be a target. Imagine, like, somebody doesn't like you, in school or even at church, and the person's like, he always sits here. Maybe I'm going to put like a gum on the chair or something. Do you get it? Anything, because this world, I mean, is full of good and evil. So, like, even that too, like in class, I don't sit at the exact same place all the time. Like, I'm always switching, because I learn a lot from great people, successful people, people who have walked this earth before, the dead and alive. And one thing I've noticed, like, even like the Bible always says that be vigilant. I learned a lot of things from the Bible when I was a Christian. Like, you should be very, very vigilant. So in my life, I'm very vigilant. TD Jakes too said that, when people like you, be steady. When they don't like you, be steady. Never take your hands off that wheel. Like, you're always, like, always be vigilant, always be looking. And trust me, I live that life, but it doesn't mean I live fearful. I live a very alert, and I in fact, living like this makes me feel more intelligent. It kind of puts me ahead in life than most of my peers, because it's like I don't just live by the flesh, but I'm very in tune with my spirit. And I try to, like, be very cautious of my environment and not just live haphazardly. Like, when I'm in my apartment, obviously I know, I mean, I live the way I want to live. I'm not turning my head when something falls on the floor. But, like, when I'm out, I have to make sure that, when I'm out, I'm vigilant, because I mean, that's why your apartment or where you live should be your safe space. That's why it's called home. It should be a safe space. And when you're out, you just, like, be cautious. So yeah, do you have anything more to say before I move to the next question?
I think you said it all.
Okay. So I think we've already answered the next question, which is to say that having a routine in your life is actually powerful. I think we've answered that, right? Is it powerful to have a routine in your life?
Yeah, I think it's more of, for me, I see it's like having place. So like I say, I have a routine to read for like 30 to 45 minutes every day.
Yeah.
And you realize by the end of the month you've read like two or three books. So
Mm,
it's routines are like propelling you towards your goals, right?
mm,
If I want to
yeah.
build a relationship with God as a Christian, I'm like every single day I have to make sure I pray. Even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I pray, and you realize you're becoming a better person, becoming a better Christian.
Yeah.
My career
Yeah.
routine that I'm supposed to read something new or learn something in my career.
Yeah. That's true.
At the end of the day, I'm reading more career books. I'm able to do something, right? And I'm supposed to exercise for 30 minutes, or if I don't go to the gym, I have to do push-ups. At the end of the day, I realize, okay, I'm becoming more healthier. So clearly, you see that having a routine. So when people are like, hey, your goals, you can to achieve your goals is just making sure you have the systems in place. And this system is your routine, putting it in place. That will help you like really move forward. So like being healthy, I make sure when I wake up, I drink water like 500 ml. Before I sleep, I drink another 500. So you realize, okay, I have a lot of water in my system. Like you are constantly being hydrated. So I'm just putting in place those systems that help you like be healthy. I think James Clear covers it a lot in Atomic Habits. So before I start every year, the first book I read is Atomic Habits to just give me like a recap of having like systems and routines that will help you like move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right, because all these things would actually help you develop self discipline, and it'll also help you with your consistency level. If you're struggling with consistency, you start by, certain routines as to what you have to do every single day, what you have to do. Like, I want to do this. And what you said, like, really works for me a lot. Like when I have a project and I use Google Calendar a lot. So like I put times within each day to do that particular thing, and then I do it, and I get successful at it. So yeah, it is powerful. I thought we answered that question, but we didn't. So how do you cultivate the habits of having and being consistent with your routine?
Mm, tracking. So I think there's this quote that says, what you measure improves. Yeah, I think when when something is measured, it improves, and when something is measured and reported, the rate of acceleration like is higher. So for me, it's more of okay. When I started routines, the first thing I did was print it out, so like my 30-day habit tracker, and
Mm.
like 2020, if I look at those sheets now, I was very inconsistent. My goodness, every day is like a zero. So like I have things I have to mark myself over like at the end of every day.
Yeah.
So if it's like three things I'm supposed to do, like my quiet time, I'm supposed to read, and I'm supposed to study. So at the end of the day, I read to myself three. If and the whole thing was I read from Atomic Habits is make sure you don't have a 0 day. So sometimes I'm like, okay, just do one. So that's 1/3. Then you
Yeah.
do so you do 1/3 for a while, then you're like, okay, I can improve and do 2/3, then you have 3/3. But sometimes you fall. But when you fall, just make sure you don't have a 0 day. So for me, it's more about you seeing your progress, right? So at the end of the month, I calculate, oh, so how many productive days did I have? So I say it if I have 3/3 means I have like a productive day, or I consider 2/3 a productive day.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day or the month, you're like, okay, this month I had such a productive period. So seeing those things, seeing it will help you move. Because first, when I wanted to have these reading and quiet time and studying, I'm like, oh, I'll do it. But over time, you're like, you don't even know if you're making progress, right? I think 2023 was really a good year for me. I was like, I'm going to be serious this year with my routines. The only time something my routine went off was when I relocated, and I mean I gave myself
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt that come on, you have relocated, it's going to take time.
Exactly. It's
So
gonna
for
take
like
time.
one whole month, I was just getting zero, 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 zero. But when
Yeah.
I picked up, come on, I was on three, four, five, that kind of thing. So
I
I would
feel
say
you.
it's more about being dedicated to it. And for me, for my routines and stuff, I don't like using like soft copies and all. I like printed old school way,
Old school.
where at the end of the day I take, okay, quiet time, check,
It's-
reading check, exercise check,
yeah.
stretching check. Okay, so today I have 4/4. Wow, then I'm proud of myself. Then over time, you can see. So I printed my sheets for the whole year, January to December, so that there's no excuse.
So
Yeah.
do you have like an archive? I mean, do you have like
Yeah.
how do you call it? Like I don't know, it's maybe like a vault somewhere where you put all these things there.
No, I have, so for the year I have it in my file. My file is always with me and I keep it. But when the year is over, I go and I have like my locker where I just put previous year so I can look back and look at from 2020
Yeah.
instead of like printing it out.
I mean, I could give you an idea. You could take pictures of them and then upload them on your on your Google Drive. You know, Google Drive is free
Mhm.
for a number of space, so you can upload them so that just in case where you put them it bends or like something happens, you can still have them.
Ah, so like even after like I'm done, I should just take a
Yeah, like
picture.
when you're done, yeah,
Ah,
because like that's one of the reasons why I love technology. Like every single work I do
mm,
is on the internet, is somewhere on the internet. You
okay.
know, is somewhere on the internet. Like I don't do a work. Like let's say for example, I'm just giving an example. If I'm writing a book, when I'm done writing the book, I don't leave it on my laptop because I've heard so many stories about people's laptop getting missing, even the external drive crashing and all that. So
Mm,
I will immediately I'm done writing, I will just update the folder on the drive, and then like that's what I keep doing, so that all my important documents, even my phone, I pay for space, everything. So everything I have, like my iCloud, everything, you know, it's somewhere on the internet because the
yeah,
reason why I'm
it can
giving
happen.
out this information is because it's easy for you to lose your phone. It's easy for you to lose your laptop. Like, there are hazards that happen, unexpected, occurrences in life. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like I prepare myself for the future. It's not like I want it to happen, but I prepare myself so that when it happens, I'm not like crushed and go like, oh, I'm not come start from zero. And that whole starting from zero thing, I know they'll be like you start from experience, but before you take one step, Charlie, you go stress.
You know what I was
So
about to tell you?
when
I'm not scared to start afresh.
I'm actually not scared to start afresh. Actually, do you know how many times I started afresh? Like
Okay,
me too. I'm not
tell
scared
me.
to start. I'm really not scared. I'm
Yeah,
actually
but
see.
I, I mean, I get you. I mean, I just wanted to pull
Yeah.
you like to your leg, but like I get you. I get you.
Yeah, yeah, like obviously nobody, I mean, you're not scared to start fresh, but like even when you're about to start, like the anxiety and stress you would go through if you lose all your files and all your documents and everything without having a replacement. I mean, not without having a backup. The anxiety will be more than if you had a backup and now this is gone. If it's gone, you know that, "Oh, I have a backup. All I just need to do is to get a new laptop, a new phone, and then I have my stuff,
I
you
get.
know." But I'm on the flip side. Like I love technology a lot, so all my activity, if I have an idea to do something, one of the things that helps me to declutter my thoughts is that when I have to do something, I just like put it on Google, Google Calendar. So like my Google Calendar is full, no matter what it is, unless it's like very, very like minute as to like cleaning my apartment or like, buying certain things. But if I have to do like a whole shopping or anything, I put it on Google Drive. I have a meeting on Google Drive. I have an assignment to do Google Drive, everything Google Drive, work Google Drive. Hey, what am I saying? Google Drive, Google Calendar. Google Calendar, and it really, really works for me because when you Google Calendar, I don't know, from unless you intentionally delete it, but it doesn't delete. So like when you go to last week and then you see all the activities you do, you just start smiling, because I'm not to shade. I mean, your way of doing things. I mean, you are different. Your soul is different. My soul is different, but like. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't have to go to a locker to now come and maybe unlock them.
I get you. We thank you. We the old school people say thank you.
Cause my phone,
Don't worry.
cause
Me,
my
I'm in
phone.
tech, so I know technology is technology. One day and technology is also gone. You'll be like,
No, I mean,
"Okay."
we all know that life is a risk. You know that. So like I'm betting on technology. It's not like I don't like I don't have.
I'm betting on my spouse.
Yeah, I'm betting.
Yes, I
I
got you.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we are. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So as you said, it's easy to be consistent when you write it down or you
Mm.
use, an app like Google Calendar to help you track the things you're supposed to do in a day. And there's some sort of fulfillment you get after you see, everything you've done. I do get that, you know. We hear people say a lot of things about what you should do to get success or get successful at something, not necessarily financial success, but success in any other area of your life. And most people hear it and go like, "Oh, this is so little. It's not going to make any change." But you'd be surprised at the little changes that it makes in your life turns out to be like this big ocean, you know, because like you do this thing just little by little, and like just a few months down the line, and you're just like, wow. Like I set a goal to achieve something 2 months ago, about 2 months or a month ago. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like just after like almost 2 months towards like, achieving that, like I just saw the massive progress just with the little effort I was putting. And it's not like I wasn't stressing myself, just like little by little. And it becomes very addictive because when you practice something you hear and you see results, you're like, wow. And I don't really have to break my head to get to this thing. I just have to, like, number one, be patient with myself and just know that any little step you take amounts to something. Any In fact, any step you take in life, once it's like you make an effort, it amounts to something. You learn something, you grow from it, you become, wiser. So many other things can come out of it. It pushes you to another direction of your life. But if like you're standstill and then you still feel like the wisdom in your head is what is going to carry you through life, you're going to miss out a lot from life. So yeah.
The wisdom of Sharon.
Thank you very much. So finally, as I always do, comme habitude. Hey, what am I saying? Comme d'habitude. I'm speaking English and speaking French. As always, comme d'habitude. I always ask my guest any life lesson. The last season you shared a life lesson, so I want to know if you have another life lesson you live by. Why you
Oh
laugh?
my God. What? Wow, I shared a life lesson. I've forgotten. What was it?
It's good you forgot to share another one. If it's the same thing, we just know that it's something that you really live by.
No, I think for me, 2024 is a year of like less is more, right? I realized
Mm,
while like, evaluating 2023 was more of I want to do this, and you end up not doing a lot. So, like, after prayerful reflection and everything, it's like less is more, less is more, less is more. So, for me, it's that constant reminder that less is more. I don't know if you know of the Pareto principle. 20% of the things you do gives you 80% of the results, and 80% of things you do mostly will give you 20%. So, it's more like, the 80/20 rule is more of how can I maximize my 20% to give me like 80% results. So for
mm,
me, this year is more of less is more, less is more. We are being
mm.
trapped up in this busy trap of I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take 100 courses. For me, I was just looking at like my plans. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to learn one skill, and I'm going to take 2 courses the whole year. I'm not going to pressure
Mm,
myself that I have to
mm,
take one every quarter. And no, no, no.
mm,
And those
mm,
courses, and even like books, I'm going to read. I've said to read like for like personal growth, just read 4 books, but I want to read them twice
mm,
that I can better pick the things like I missed during the first part of the reading. So 2024, the theme is less is more. So I just hope, yeah, to take on less, everything less, but to be able to do more with the less. Exactly.
This is very deep. Thank you for sharing. This is very good because I also have a little library in my apartment and I have books, there. And I keep reading the same books over and over again. And these books are actually like the Bible because you see, like the Bible, when you read something, you might read the same thing, but when you go back to it again, it's like it's sending a different message. So, like, like the Secrets by Rhonda Byrne, or even the Secrets hey, it's actually another
It's,
secret too.
it's,
The
it's,
secrets of a millionaire's mind.
yeah.
The reason why I'm laughing at myself is because I didn't even know that it was the secrets by Rhonda Byrne and the secrets of the millionaire's mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I read those books and like, sometimes I don't plan to read, but I'm always in the habit of reading. So let's say I'm taking a shit. So I'll just like pick a book from the shelf and like just read while I am, pooing. Or like I'm just like bored doing something. Like it's a habit, so like I don't even think about it. It's a reflex action. I just pick a book from my library, and sometimes I read different books, different books in the space of 1 week. I i read them intermittently. I don't just like sorry, interchangeably. I don't like read one particular book and then I finish. No, I can read The Secret on Monday, then on Tuesday I'm reading probably like a biography of Prince Harry, because I have that book too as well, and other books too as well. So yeah, less is more. I'm not in a competition with anybody to say I read 50 books in the
No.
year. It's all about it
Four. I read
transferring.
four 3 times. I read 4 books. I've
Exactly.
gotten the best out of it, and I'm implementing it.
That I'm telling you, even one verse from the Bible can change your can change your whole life.
Yeah.
Because I mean I live by so many verses from the Bible, which literally informs the way I think.
Preach on,
Um,
preacher.
and even myself to have read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, like I can't even count anymore. After reading that book, I read The Secret, I read The Magic, I read another one too as well. I've forgotten that one because I bought 3 books from her. And I've been reading. It's like I read it every year, practically almost every year. I think the first time I bought it was in either 2016 or 2017, and I've been reading it ever since. I carry it wherever I go. It's like
Mm.
if I'm supposed to like relocate somewhere, best believe that The Secret by Rhonda Byrne will be in my luggage.
Hey, interesting.
But anyways, yeah. So you're right. Less is more. Thank you so much for coming again. It was really a handful episode. I really loved it, as always. I love to listen to us speak after. So we're gonna end here. Just a little recap. Okay, the top rule by Robert Kiyosaki is that you can make money with your phone. So thank you all so much for listening to me. I love you as much as you love yourself. Until next time, bye.
Have got a strong and positive mind. Don't give up on yourself.
Don't forget to subscribe. I love you, BSG Fighters.